All right. Good morning and welcome. So this morning we're going to do a goal setting workshop. So we have Anne-Marie online and we do have a few people in the room. So we have Shauna, Pam, and Tori, and Arlo, and Shelley, all here to do some goal setting for 2025. So you may have done goal setting before. And if you're on the computer, you're watching on a recording of this, and I do turn my back to you because I actually have a laptop here and I am trying to present to a room of people. So listen in and take the conversation from that. So often we may have done goal setting in the past in different ways, different processes. There's SMART goals and different variations of goals. This goal setting is a little bit different. It's a combination of some of those things. It's probably more designed to lift your frequency up. It really doesn't have SMART goals as such inside it. It's just a little bit different. And it's classed as creating clarity around your goals, your why, and your vision. Right. So there is a certain way in which you should set goals. Like I said, there's all different variations of that. But from the point of view of this perspective, all right, there is a certain way in which you should set goals, all right, and then how we operate from that point of view. Okay. If anyone online that's listening, we just have new person, Sabine. I've got one person online, Sabine, Anne-Marie. She's online, and we are recording this goal setting for any of the people that we have around that may be able to have a listen in later and then go from there. All right, and I'll just repeat because you've just arrived, so it's fine. Virtually anyone has said before, we've often all done goal setting in different ways. We talk about SMART goals and different things and bits and pieces. This is not really that sort of a goal setting. This is a goal setting more on developing your frequency rather than SMART set of goals. Like it has all those combinations, but it's not specifically down to the SMART set of process. All right. So we talk about there's a certain way in which to set goals, and we'll get to that, but we're going to unlock our minds for part of it first to understand why we would do that. So goals really are designed to focus your thoughts. That's what they're designed for. Focus what you're thinking, how you're thinking in that direction, all right? So goals do need to be clear as possible and as specific as possible. Right? Because if they're not, if you don't have some sort of specificity of a goal, you're going to get no specific results. You're just going to get randomness. Okay. So thoughts. And I know Shelley just did a style thought exercise. And she quietly played what I wanted to talk about, but it's okay. She's trying to steal my thunder. She was.
I would not do that.
She was just trying to steal my thunder. So your thoughts. So we talk about what we're thinking. She sort of just did the exercise. So I want you to think of an elephant with pink polka dots, with white polka dots. Sorry. Think of an elephant with white polka dots. You got it? Thought that? Can you see it? That's what you saw. The words, an elephant with white polka dots. Is that what you saw?
No, it's not.
It's not?
No, it's still an elephant with white spots.
Right. Or did you see something? Boy, whatever. It doesn't matter what it was. You just see something like that.
I just saw the white spots.
Just saw the white spots. Not a problem. Okay, fine. So now, taking it a step further, I want you to think of a telephone.
What?
Telephone. That's what you saw?
Yeah. Yes, I saw, yes.
Is that what you saw?
No,
I saw the old one with the dial.
That one?
That one.
Saw that one? Oh, you saw that one too? That's interesting. You saw that one. Youngest person in the room, and you saw that one. Because obviously in today's world, most of us would think of that.
No, it's not a phone to me.
It's not
It's a
fun.
mobile.
It's a mobile. Oh, well, that's a good point. It's a mobile. It's not a. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's not a phone. It's a mobile.
Right.
Different thought process.
Yeah, and it does all different things that a phone doesn't do.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. That's point. No, that's. I never thought of it. I never thought of it that way.
No, see, you two, electronically.
Yeah. Educated. I thought of the other three and put it up. But so it's interesting that how we all think differently,
Yeah.
that we think with a mind.
Plus the mobile as an appliance, like the tablet
Yeah, that's a good point.
and the computer.
So the basis of it obviously is, hello, what are you doing? And Shelley can't get to you now. Do you need to turn around and go back that way?
Yeah.
Go that way. Go that way. So we obviously think in images. We don't think in words. All right. We speak in words. That's not how we think. So images. Images, life is images of the mind expressed. Imagine your life as you wish it to be. Picture perfect, colors and details. So as we get to the goal setting, which is closer to the end of what we do, you have to start. I'm just trying to get your head here, understanding the process. And if I throw you in to do it, you're going to go, trying to get you to open your mind here. And you have to start to think a little bit differently. We're talking frequency. How do I wish my life to be? Now, most of us look at life what we can't afford, not what we want it to be. Right? So it is just a different way to start to think. Because your life are your thoughts first. We get where we want to go in our mind space. We went to Mount Everest. We thought about it first before we decided to climb it. We played the conspiracy. We went to the moon. That's to be did we? I don't know. Got no idea. But we went there in our mind space. We thought about the process before we went and did it. And anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah.
We thought about walking before we walked.
I think we're not taught that though. When you think, imagine we taught that in school,
No.
like it would just be very natural, and we're not actually taught to think like that.
Yeah, so just trying to get you here to think about, right? And I'm not trying to, so I could get, this can go as deep, the world's endless on what this thought process is if I dig it deeper. I'm trying not to do that because I could, but yeah, so think about your life, is your thoughts expressed? All right. So everything that's happened in our life up to this point, this is a tough one for me to deal with. I created everything, all the good and all the bad, I created. So if I understand that and I grasp that at its deepest level, what can I now do to go forward? Okay. And our brains, unfortunately, want to go negative over positive. So negative is very easy. Positive takes effort. So we simply go to negative on everything we do, and it's around us. I'm not sure it's got a phone, mobile, not in a hand, and recording, or photo, but we're bombarded with a negative at times. So we see it and we don't recognize that, hang on a minute, I can create a positive. So, all right, I'm trying to get you to open your minds here a little bit. So we're going to do a little exercise to start with, just help break some of this up, because your brain's now going, oh God, I've got to think about everything I did, I've created, and how do I go, and all that sort of stuff. So this is the simplicity, and Emma, you're going to have to just scroll it out, and Shelley can actually send a copy to you. So basically,
I'll put that through, sorry. I put it in my messenger so I can flip it through fairly.
so this is you. There is no right or wrong answer. Understand that. There's no right or wrong answer. And what you're trying to look at the moment is for you to start to set goals to move forward. Where am I? Am I a 1, lowest end of the scale, or am I a 10? Now, I'm going to tell you, you should never be a 10. Because if you're a 10, you can't grow. If the scale's only 1 to 10, you can't grow. Right? If the scale's 1 to 100, yeah, 10, you can be 10.
I'll get that to Amber.
Cool. So just take 5-10 minutes if you want to, and just go through, where do I feel I am with career? Where am I with money, health, friends, family, love, romance? spirituality, fun relaxation, and self-love. Now I'm going to put my hand up. I belt myself up a lot. I might be sitting up here doing this. I have PTSD, I have anxiety, and I do belt myself up a lot. So self-love is one of the ones that I am this year or last year, I've been working on a lot, and I know I still got a long way to go. And it's okay wherever you are on the scale. Because if you say, you may in your goal setting, you might say, hey, I'm not going to goal set on every category. I may need to work on health. I may need to work on spirituality.
Yeah.
I may need to work on my self-love and my own self-worth to start to go forward, because if I build that, then I can build the rest. Because it's probably one of the things that I know probably stops us a lot is around self-worth, around self-love.
Yeah.
Stops us then going, I'm not good enough, so I can't have a career. I'm not good enough, I can't make money. I'm not good enough, I'm going to belt myself up, I'm going to eat all the wrong foods, and I'm going to be fat, and I'm going to be whatever, and then that justifies itself. Then I don't have friends. So sometimes the self-love one's one of the hardest ones to work on, but it does fix a lot of the rest.
Yeah, so one is, obviously, I really need to do some work on it. 10 is it's going amazing, but I can always go to the next level. So that's creating awareness around each category. I'm sure you've done stuff like this before. Oh, I did have a beautiful. I can see that you had. So where did you drive from?
Paterson.
Lovely, thank you for
Yeah,
making effort to come. I did have a quick look. I just, Ian's definitely into this, and we love that you teach that. That's beautiful. And sometimes it's nice for us to do it for ourselves too.
And that's the thing. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what the score is. It's about I've created them. I know where I am.
Just remember,
Yeah.
anyone online can't
Sorry.
hear anything you
Sorry,
say
Dave.
possibly.
Yeah, so it's about creating the awareness around each category. So there's no guilt, no shame. It's just this is where I am, and would I like to move forward? And if you're not, and then you don't have to do all the categories like Ross said. You're just picking what would I like to work on, and then we can help you do it. Or you find a coach or someone that can help you do that, because asking for help is a sign of strength. Like it's, being vulnerable and transparent is a sign of strength as well. So this is to help you move forward and have the best life possible. So we'll spend, do you want to put some music on, or is that too hard?
It's now too difficult to do that.
I can put some music
You can
on.
put something on your phone. Yeah.
And
Your computer's not going to handle the unshare, reshare. Anne-Marie, you're going to have, Shelley said, Anne-Marie, you got to sing. You got to sing to the room. She just laughed.
Everyone would leave if I tried to sing.
That's all right.
I did that for Spotify. So, yeah. I don't know where my Spotify is.
Really.
Might need someone else to do it. Can you put it on your phone?
I can, but you won't like my music.
That's okay. I'll just.
No. They're not, by the time you find Spotify, they'll have actually, they'll have got themselves around the yard.
Slightly technology challenged. Okay.
And I'm going to say, at the moment, don't overthink it too much. All right, try not to overthink it too much. Just think, okay, I feel I'm there. I'm feeling there.
So do you like hash it in, or like what's the way you do it? I think it's like a pie chart.
Yeah, so you could color it in, you could write the number, you could, you do is individual the way is what works for you. Some people would want to color it, some people would want to, whatever, put the number in place, remember we're all personality colors. The green people would probably just put the number, green personality, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The blue people would want to go and get all their colored biros out and color it all up. All right. So that's the way you sit.
Nice. Well, that's a good place to be, isn't it?
Yeah. So like, yeah.
The thing is that, those sort of times in your life create opportunities and doing things that obviously grow something if you're feeling uncomfortable. So it's a great place to be.
Yeah. It's an open book.
I haven't done this for a long time. So, love and romance, what am I going to put?
You better put 11.
Well, there's always
That's
room,
right.
there's
Better
always
put an
room,
11.
there's always room for.
Oh, really?
improvement,
Okay.
so,
All right.
I'll
So
be-
yeah. So anyone that we obviously is in a recording will just be a little bit longer, and you know, what I mean, if you were watching a recording and you wanted to move this through, you could actually do that.
Sure. Does anyone want to share an area that they feel that they're at? Thank you, Sabine, for sharing yours.
Does this mean that we need to work on it?
Well, it depends on what you
doesn't
got.
matter
So,
where you
well,
are, you
yeah,
can
gotta
still-
work on it,
you
yeah.
can still work on it. So yes, it's looking at where you feel you are at 1 to 10, 1 being
Yeah.
I'm not really happy where I am in that, and 10 being it's exactly where I want to be.
so yeah, if
Yeah.
your life is your mind expressed and your
Yeah.
thoughts, and you go, hey, I feel I'm really bad in,
No, Alan. Nope.
I don't have any fun or relaxation. My goal then would be, how do I have some more fun and relaxation? I just pick something off the board. Or if you find you have heaps of fun and relaxation, but your I'm going to go, my self-love's low. What do I need to do to put myself in an environment to possibly read books, possibly listen to better things? What could I do that would improve that? So when we get to goal setting, and obviously we're not going to fully goal set today, because if you do goal set properly, it would take a fair length of time, because goal setting is really something, it's an individual thing. You have to have the time to sit and think. It's one of the things we today is what we don't do enough of. Right?
Jim Rohn called it pondering, taking time to ponder and be in your thoughts and be still and think about those things. Think about your thoughts. And most of us are so busy, being busy, we don't have that time to stop.
So basically what I'm trying to say here is we're living on a certain frequency, which we're going to discuss, and I'm talking a little bit off. We live on a frequency. How do I move myself to the next frequency? So let me explain that in a different way. When you listen to a radio station, you can only hear the song on the channels. And I don't know what channel, it's 96 point whatever it is, right? Whatever that channel is, that's all I can hear. If I want to listen to a different channel, I've got to change the dial. Well, I got to do the same here. I got to change the dial. I got to live on something else. I got to start to look at another channel. I got to go up and down that frequency, because I can only hear what's happening on that channel. So if I'm really country and Western people, that's all you listening to, that's all you can hear. You hear nothing else. But the people that like rock and roll, which are on a different dial, that's what they're hearing. All right. So you've got to understand that. So it's radio frequency, however you want to look at it, right? Okay. All right.
Does anyone want to share where they feel like an area that I'd like to work on? And so, do you want to share maybe an area that you'd like to work on?
Well, I just thought, I readjusted a couple.
That's fine.
Yeah, just readjust.
Yeah, like my career, I put it low at the moment, but I want to put it higher.
Sure.
Oh,
Sure.
so I put a 5.
Sure.
I don't want to go overboard and think,
Oh, this is not what we are now.
What
Yes,
you are
yes, you
now
are now.
and where you would like.
Yeah.
Yes, where you are now
yeah.
and where you would like to get to.
There's no wrong way.
There's no wrong way to look at it. So it's where you, technically you can look at it, where I am now.
Yeah.
You could have a second piece of paper and go, this is where I'd like to get to. Right?
Okay.
You can do it whichever way you want. Okay. What it's trying to do is trying to create you to be aware of something. Because we live in a world where we're not. We're not. We are not aware. We are not aware that my self-worth is low. So that's why my career, my money, my friendship, my whatever doesn't work, because I have a low self-worth. If I can fix my self-worth, I can fix some of the other categories. So I'm busting my own butt to try and make money, but I've got a low self-worth and I keep sabotaging myself. Or I want to make friends, but I don't trust people because I don't love myself, so I don't make friends. Just going back to that, because it's one of the primary ones, realistically. I know it's one of the primary ones, because it does help the rest. Build your spirituality, build some belief, you build the rest. You build the money or the career, it doesn't last if you haven't built some of the spirituality, some of the rest, some of the other things, right? So, but it's a pie chart. You've only got to look at how you feel, and again, how you feel. You might feel, I'm happy where I am. You know what I mean? Okay, ready with that? You right with all that? right?
And you can work on this, take the
Yeah,
time
that's
away.
right. So I told you this is a little bit different. This is not normal, just straight out goal setting. All right. We get to the end, I'll tell you where I got it all from, maybe. All right, I want you to remember this. This is super important in your brain. Your thoughts, your thinking. Pause how you speak, how you do things, how you be. So how you think, what your thought process is, determines how you start to speak, determines what you start doing, determines how you end up. But there's actually one before it that most people don't get, and most of us, this is where we're going to get. I'm going to throw a little smoke on the price. You are it first. Now, how I'm going to explain it, you're going, well, hang on a minute. If I think, I speak, I do, I become, you actually become first. So I'll give you an example, a really good example. You are hungry before you think you're hungry. Before you speak it, before you act it, before you do it. You're actually hungry first. You're thirsty. You are thirsty before you think. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. I better go and do something. You are it first. Now, I do not want to get deep on this. So flip that into happy, sad, positive, negative. You're in a state first. This is a little bit different. You're in a state first. So it's trying to recognize, which is not easy to do. How do I change my being to change my thinking? So it's a cycle. There's a slight cycle here. So if I can improve my thinking, my speaking, my doing and being, I can become better at thinking, being, doing, whatever. Because primary, like I said, back to it. I'm thirsty before I think I'm thirsty. My actual being, my soul, my whatever is that first. That goes for everything we do. We don't always understand this. Right? Okay. So again, I'm not trying to take it to the depth of where this could go to because this can go very deep again. But it's just a different. I'm trying to get you to, again, think about some of this sort of stuff. Because we often speak all the negative stuff out of our brain. We think it, so we've got to try and change some of that.
I just want to say thank you to the Pams, Spencer's Pam and Pam, they make the whole profit. Thank you, it's amazing.
You're welcome.
So, will you give yourself permission? Because you don't know the next question. But will you give yourself permission? And you don't know the question there. Will you give yourself permission? Will you give yourself permission? Oh, I don't know. Sabine's going, yes, I will. Will you give yourself permission? Because to think bigger and dream. Will you give yourself permission to it? Because you need to. Right? It's important. You need to start to think. You've got to give yourself permission to do it. Which is all going to go. You keep dragging it mentally down. Right?
Yeah.
You need to give, first of all, you need to give yourself permission to think bigger and dream more. Right? It's important. It really is.
I really like that picture when I saw it. Well, that's a cool picture. You're all getting ready to take off.
So we've done slight positive. I'm going to give you a little bit of the opposite, negative. So why do 98% of people not achieve goals? Do you know? You're better than us again because you probably don't see this. I'm not saying you
Because
do.
we don't think,
Partly
we don't think and dream.
bigger. That's a huge part of it.
Amazing.
And we don't do it.
And
Huh?
we don't do
We
it.
don't follow it.
That's a lot. You're afraid to fail, so you don't. You're afraid to fail, and I'll give you a little bit off it. So throw it. there's three levels. There's the pessimist, really negative individual, dreams about this much. The realist, which is me, which I'm trying to, the visionary side. Okay, I'm the realist. I look at, yep, we're going for it. We should achieve whatever it is. Right? Then there's the visionary. She's the visionary. She's thinking out here, way out. And I'm trying to get myself between at the moment between realism and visionary. I really am. Because what happens is when I go for the visionary and I miss it, but I've got a visionary. If this was real, but I was visionary, I end up in here somewhere. Somewhere. I could be just above or I could be very close. But if I vision smaller and with a realistic attitude and I just get it, I do this next time. And then I do this next time. And then I do this next time. And next minute I'm back as the pessimist. It never works. Why should I try? I'm not going to fail again. I'm not trying. So it's what we deal with as people. So I'm trying to get you to think bigger. I'm telling you, I have to do it too, because if you understand, and I might, do you know the color personalities? Yeah, so we know what we do. Green, very mathematical, very whatever, very realistic. Very red, I'm just going for it. I'm green-red, but I'm very more green than red. So I'm pulling myself down a lot because I'm looking at, oh, that's going to cost us money. That's going to, I'm not going for it. So we're all go through that from time to time, but we don't try because if I fail, so it's part of the reason why 98% of people don't actually set goals because they're terrified if I don't get it, I failed and I look like a failure in everyone else's eyes and all that sort of stuff. Okay. So big goals, big dreams. That's what we want to go for. But we live in a world because we listen to others, we listen to social media, and we're afraid of failing that we don't even try and we give up. Okay? And we live in a world where it's around us all the time. Okay. I watched something the other day, if you don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, he basically said in reality, 99.9999% of the population is very good and empathetic and caring and passionate. But everything we see, social media news, the 0.011% is all the negative stuff. No wonder we struggle, but it's not that way. All right. And our eyes believe what we see on the news, on the phone. Look, I get it happens. But it's what it is. All right.
I haven't had a telly for over 12 months.
Haven't had a telly? Yeah, well, we have, I don't think we would have a TV, I'll admit. We have a TV, we have Netflix, we have Disney and that stuff. Yeah, no, that's great. We wouldn't have watched the news. I wouldn't have watched the news for probably 7 years. I wouldn't have a clue.
No.
If I want it, somewhere on social media will pop up at me. And then I'll look at it and go, I don't really want it. And I'll move through. And most of my feed is fairly well full of stuff because of algorithm. What I listen to, I pretty well get heavy on the stuff that I want to see, which is always motivational people. It's probably gym people. It's whatever. I get that. I don't want that. And if it does come up, I don't stay on it for very long. So the algorithm doesn't pop it at me. So yeah, I appreciate because it is, you are being bombarded with it, unfortunately. All right. So
Broke in a storm last January.
Yep.
And my aerial
Yep.
tipped off the roof.
Yep. You didn't fix it. It's
Been
been,
a lot of fixing
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yes, it's great. You know, I mean, well, yes, yeah, I fully understand that. All right. So
It's scripted news and everything, and it's to make everyone depressed,
Yep.
unhappy and miserable. There's nothing good on it, and they're making us
correct.
to be subservient to it.
Yeah. So
All fear is a very good tool.
Yeah, and the clothing they put out is another thing. It's been depressing ever since COVID. There's no
colour.
they don't know how to sew.
There's no style, there's no colour, there's no pattern.
Yep.
That's
And the
true.
fabrics, it's just
I spent years in,
Yeah.
terrible, it's just.
yeah, so and to them when I've taken them, I said, look at this, doesn't have to see this thing, I said, I wouldn't buy it again.
All right. So
They looked at me,
another reason why we don't go anywhere, we don't set the cheap goals, is we don't know what we want.
they didn't want to do it.
We don't know what we want. We don't sit down and figure it out. We get up every day and do whatever, but we don't know what we want. As much as the word wants there, I'm going to talk about it later further about it's not the right word, but for the context of writing this, I'll leave it in. But we don't know what we want. You have no clear direction, destination of what you want. Most people do not know clearly what they're looking to achieve, where they want to go. All right. And it's one of the reasons why we don't go forward. It's the 98% of the population. I'm not saying it's everybody because I get in trouble when I say those words. It's not everybody. It's 98% of the population. Don't set goals, don't achieve, don't really know where they want to go or what they want to do. So you need to know where you want to go. All right. And you do it, but you don't do it for yourself. You need to know a goal. You need to know where you want to go. And there's one more in a minute. So I'll give you this example. No matter, because I realise Anne-Marie's in Adelaide. So the local whatever, major shopping centre, call it that way. We decide we want to go to the local shopping centre. Why?
My groceries.
Sure, that's correct. But you think about it from a goal-setting life point of view, use it as an example. We go to the shopping centre, we sit in the car, we went. Why did we go? Sure, we went to buy groceries, which is a reason.
Yeah.
All right. So our purpose, our reason, life's the same. Why are we doing what we're doing? We don't have a reason.
We're doing it to earn some money and help people.
Sure. But deeper than that, in some respects, of why we do everything we do as a reason. Because if I went to Sunshine Plaza, and right? And I went there with the intent to go there for the day, but I aimlessly went in and out of every shop without any idea of, oh, actually I want to learn this, to go and buy a book that'll educate me. Where's my purpose to move myself forward, right? So I'm just using the shopping centres, and I realize you said you buy groceries, but where's my truer, deeper me purpose of why I want to do something? Not day-to-day functionality of life. What's my deeper purpose? What's my deeper reasons? It starts to get a bit deeper here. What's my deeper reasons why I go and try and do something? What's my deeper reason for goals? Okay, fine. Don't give it to me. So you need to set your goals far higher than you want, because it helps you stretch and grow and to become a new version and a new person. But it has to be higher than what you initially think about, like I said before. So you stretch, you grow, and you become. Because your reasons are actually drive. Like I said before, I drive everything. Everything. And I realized, yes, I went to the supermarket, I bought groceries for my food, that's my reason. But what is it for my life? Because that's just a day-to-day functionality. Where do I want to be in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30? Depends on age. Years time. All right, where do I want to be? If your reasons are not strong enough, you're not able to overcome the obstacles. You just won't get through it. You just won't. If your reasons are strong enough, nothing stops you. You will figure it out. You'll either go over it, under it, round it, but you'll figure it out. Okay? Right?
Could you develop some strong reasons? You find some strong reasons.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
We can work on that.
So reasons come first. Your answers come second. You have to have a reason why you want to do the things you want to do. All right? And they need to be strong. And I'll use what we do. When you make a decision and your reasons aren't strong enough, it's like being lashed out on a lighthouse island, lashed to a pole. The tornado is going to come and going to rip you off the island if you are not strong enough. It will. And most of us would just run back and be in the lighthouse or wait for the lighthouse keeper to come and save me. They've got to be strong enough. And if they're strong enough, the universe will eventually go, you withstood the test. Here you go. All right, they've got to be strong. Right? Because this is how we live. I'm going to throw it. It's going to get one more minute. Right. See this line here? This is how 98% of the population live. Don't strain your eyes. There's other things that are going to come on. We live in survival. That's the majority of what we do.
Yeah.
We live in a survival zone.
Mm.
Right? We may not think it. We think we're super successful, whatever, but we ultimately, not everybody again, but we live in a survival zone. And there's a line below it.
Chasing ourselves.
There's a line below it called crisis. What happens with life, generally, is the squiggly line comes along, which is called life, and we until we hit it. And when we hit it, it's a crisis. We do find the time, find the money, find the effort, find the whatever to get us back to the next one. That's what we do. Get back to survival. Right? And then life does it again. And we squiggle down. And we will go, I don't have time for that. I don't have whatever for that. Until we hit that line. You know what I mean? Example. I don't have time to clean up. But I bust the tap on the pipe and I spend the next half a day trying to clean up all the muck and whatever. Where did I find the time? I hit crisis and something shot me back to survival line. All right. And obviously that line goes up, that line goes down. It's life. This is what goes on. All right. External reasons of what's caused us to take action, to force us to get back to that line. So there's a line above survival. It's called success. So whatever you did to get from crisis back to survival, why don't you continue? Spend the time not watching TV, spend the time educating yourself, spend your time coming to something like this, whatever it is, but why don't we do that? And this is the awareness thing here is, hey, I did all this effort, I cleaned up all the water, or I could clean up the next room, or I could do whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be monetary. What did I do to get myself, I got to survival, I could just keep going. And if you start to do that, like I said, you read the book, you do a bit of education, you eventually go to, now you may, like all of us, go, whoa, I got there, and some things happened, and I come back to survival. But hang on a minute, I know now that if I don't want to go down to the crisis line, and I'm going to turn around before I get there, and I'm going to put myself back up to success. Because this is, again, reasons. Your internal reasons are driving you forward now, not something outside of yourself. Okay? All right? So when you understand that, and look, there is a line above that. Our objective initially is to get to success by continuing to do the things, that find the reasons to drive ourselves forward. And then eventually you can be up to significance where you start to make an internal reason and then a contribution to society that drags me up to significance. I don't want to be down in crisis. I don't want to be in survival. I want to be between success and significance because I have internal reasons that are driving me forward. And I want to contribute to society in whatever level that may be. Right? The drags could show up to there.
I know when we'll listen to training with Eric Warren, he was saying once all your needs are met,
Yep.
you know, you've got everything that you need, then you can think often about contributions much easier, contribution to humanity or to your community or family. That's.
Yeah, you've got to get your own needs met first. Oh, you understand it. You've got to pay for the power, you've got to pay for the roof over your head, you've got to put the food on the table. You need to do that first.
Yes.
But once you do that, and I've got the reason for that, now, okay, how do I contribute to society? How do I help someone else? How do I help someone else come from crisis survival to successful? That's what we're looking to do, always. So, goals set in a certain way is how we started. So I'm now going to go through, now I'm going to get the goal setting. All right, now I'm going to get the goal setting. And I'm going to flip some words in place here. I need you to list what you desire, not what you want. And it's an insignificant difference, but it's significant. When you want something to the universe, it doesn't understand it. And it says it will give you exactly that. You always wanting, you will not receive. So want is not a desire. It's I want, I want, I want. The universe will continue to give you what you want, wanting. It's just starting to think differently and how you speak, how you think. I have a desire to improve. I have a desire to grow forward. Right? Okay. I have a desire to be abundant. Right? So, and this is very similar to normal goal setting, but a little bit different. So what do you desire to have, do, and be? So what do you desire to have, do, or be? Whatever that may be. And again, it's all individual here. Okay. And look, there is another one on there, can be to be, no, well, to be. It can be to do, it can to give, but you know, how you can add those things to it if you chose to. But what do you desire to have? And you're entitled to have. Your self-worth says not, that you are entitled to have. We live in a world of endless supply. We don't always recognize that, but we do. Life is designed for growth. Life is designed to expand. A seed in the ground as a tree grows to its maximum capacity that it can grow to. We are designed for that. We have to think like that. Our world around us tries to hold us back from that, but realistically, we're designed to. Nature in its own abundant way is designed for us to develop, to grow, to become, to be increase. That's what we're designed for, right? And we live in an endless kind of supply. When you start to think that differently, things around you happen differently. Right? So, for each goal you list, as many as you want, right? You need to write your reasons why you wish to have it. This is something you're not going to do here and now. This is something you're going to have to, in your own individual time, go away and find the quiet moment. And you may not do it in one day. You might have to find quiet moments in all those different categories over time. But go and find the quiet moment to work out, what would I like to be? What would I like to have? All right? And then the reason why you would like to have that. And you are allowed to be a little bit selfish. Because if your need at the moment, or your desire at the moment is to put food on the table, you are allowed to desire more money at the moment. Don't allow that to, I'm not, you are. Okay? You know, as long as you do it in the way one of the books we read is, as long as you're doing it in a creative way and not competing and taking from another, there is nothing wrong with that. Okay? Nothing is about competing and taking from another individual. Like I said, when you understand the supply is limitless, right? Okay. So you need to find some brochures, you need to find images, you need to find items of your goals. You need to find an image. Remember, we don't think in words, we think in images. So what are the desires? Houses, travel, cars, don't matter what it is, right? You know, maybe be helping other people. But you think in images. So find the brochures, find the photos. We live in a world where, luckily, we live in an internet world where we can find as many pictures as we want. We can, realistically. You can create as many, don't have to print them initially. You may, because you want to live in the digital world, create a digital version of it all. Right? If it's easier and faster. Okay?
I used to tell people to put a photo on the, when to sell their place, I said, put a photo of the house on the fridge.
Yeah, all that.
Market sold, and every time you
Yep.
look across.
Look at it. Perfect. Exactly
I
that.
love that.
That's right. So you need to start a goals visualization journal. Now it can be a book, like I said. You want to paint all the pictures in books, fine. You might want to do a vision board on a wall, or you might want to just your screensaver on your computer could have all the pictures rolling through. We all live and think differently.
We will do a vision board session, probably down and do one. I think more than one of the time. It's fun to do, and it's quite creative, so we'll definitely do that.
So, and you need to refer to it often and daily. Right? You shouldn't just do it and I done it. You need to be referring to it. You need to keep your mind active on it. And with that, it might change. And there's nothing wrong with that. You could get 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever down the track and go, I don't want that anymore. Because it happens. Because I remember when I did wine a couple of years ago, I wanted a Harley and I wanted this and I don't want any of that anymore. I've changed, which is perfectly okay. And you don't go, oh, but I want, no. That person back there wanted that. This person now doesn't want that anymore. Life's changed. Don't need the toy any longer. Because at one stage I wanted the toys. I wanted the money for the toys. Oh, that don't interest me anymore. So we change. That's right, darling. So we change. So what I'm saying is don't go, but in my journal it said, it doesn't matter. It's a step, it's a stage, it's where you were. Hello. We don't need to go to the hospital with fingers lost. All right. So every day you need to read your list, you need to look at your pictures. All right. You need to spend time imagining, animating, visualizing your details and your goals. And if you can, if you're a meditator, because not all of us are, and some of us definitely struggle with that. Some do, some don't. Where possible. Yeah. So some, right? Some do, some don't.
I love the Mind Valley stuff and Regan Hilly. I actually did one this morning because I was up early for a accountability call. And I really, it's a bit out there, like if you, some of us up, but I really like it. I'm definitely ready for it. But you got to find a meditation, a visualization that suits you.
Yeah, you do.
The voice you like hearing.
Yeah.
Or you could write your own out, record it. And
You could.
play it.
You could do that as well. So
Voice.
that's good.
Yes, but, you know, he is frozen or something.
So the next stage, so you've worked out what you want to do, you desire to have. You've written some reasons down, you've got pictures. Now you have to live like it's now. What I mean by that is you just can't, theoretically, you just can't put it on paper and go, oh, it's you, it's going to give it to me now. It don't work that way. You still have to do something that's going to take you closer to your goal, whatever that may be. You have to do something that's going to move in that direction. It doesn't work just to write it, think it, and it's just going to exist. We have to become that style of person. We have to move in that sort of direction. So we have to be doing something that is going to move us into that way. You have to act deliberately and with awareness so that each goal takes you closer to your goals. It's an awareness. And it could be, because I'm fairly big on reading, it could be read something that gets my mind shifted differently to a different direction. It could be go turn the TV off because it's distracting me to pieces. Could be. Because now I waste all these hours, because we all do. I do too. We still watch Netflix and stuff, and there's times when you go, yeah, I'll just watch one more episode. I'll just watch one more episode. 3 hours has gone by. I could have done something. But you're entitled at the same time, if that's your relaxation, to go, I know I'm going to relax for 3 hours. Go do that. That's perfectly okay too, because you have to rest. So you're entitled to do that too. So wherever that sits within where you are. So you need to do everything with gratitude. You need to think, speak, and act with gratitude. And sometimes we struggle with that. And I'm going to use a story to give you some gratitudinal story. So we all often thinking in good and bad. That's how our brains work, right? So there was a farmer. I don't know if you heard the story at all, but there was a farmer, and he had a mare. And his neighbour come across to the farm, and the farmer said, "Oh, the mare ran away." And the neighbour went, "That's really horrible. That's terrible. That's bad luck." He said, "There's no good or bad. We'll see what happens tomorrow." So the next day, the mare come back. A whole group of stallions and wild brumbies and wild horses come with it. The neighbour come across, went across the thing, went, "That's really good. That's fantastic. Got good luck there." He went, "There's no such thing as good and bad. Let's see what happens tomorrow." So the next day, the son was out trying to break in the new stallion, fell off the horse, broke his leg. The neighbour come across, "That's really horrible. Your son's got a broken leg. He's held up in the house." It's okay. No such thing as good or bad. Let's just see what happens tomorrow. So the next day, the neighbour comes across the farmer, and it's time of the war. There's an army coming. Son can't go to war. Got a broken leg. So for gratitude, there's no good or bad. It's just how life is. And you have to take sometimes with that, because sometimes the universe is creating something to create something to where it ends up. All right. So we have to be grateful at times for what we see around us. All right. We have to think it, speak it. And sometimes it's difficult. Definitely. Shelley's very good at being grateful.
Happy gratitude.
Shelley was grateful every day. I'm a work in progress, but I'm getting better. All right. So we can get better at it. Okay? So yes, we have to try and be grateful for where we are, what we have, while we're trying to advance and become what we. Because gratitude is a statement of certainty. When you speak with gratitude, you are certain about the thing that's going to come.
I read this in my book not long ago. It said that
Remember, Anne-Marie can't hear you.
Gratitude creates belief.
All right. And if you did hear that, Anne-Marie? Yeah, she said gratitude creates belief. Yeah. And the last thing you got to do is when the fruits of your efforts and your manifestation come, enjoy them. Part of your goal setting, because often we don't. We get it and Shelley does. Shelley will appreciate it for much longer than I will. It's like, yeah, okay, got that. Let's go to the next one.
We just take a second to enjoy the
Yeah, you get half a second. You get half a second. We're moving on. Come on, let's go next one. So yeah, so you definitely. It was a good reminder when I put this together. Yeah, okay. The seventh point was enjoy the fruits of what we've just manifested.
Yeah.
All right. So I know I don't know what. Yeah. And look, this is about awareness. This is about you understanding and becoming aware of a little bit different than what you would have done in the past. Right? And we are about to finish. I am. The most important 2 words there is. I am. Okay. So when you really understand I am, it's what we said at the beginning. My thoughts, I am worthless. I speak it, I act it, I whatever. I am worthy. I speak it, I act it, I am. So depending on how you're saying I am, All right. Changes
I
everything.
will click that through and.
Sure. So important to understand that. I am. Okay. And the awareness here is catching yourself when you I am the words that shouldn't be spoken. Catch yourself.
No,
Hello.
no.
And then
No.
and then don't belt yourself up. Give yourself credit that you caught yourself by saying, go, I wasn't supposed to say that. And go, no, I'm the positive version of that. I am, or it could be, I'm aware that I shouldn't say those things. I'm improving. All right. It's how you start to go the other way.
This providing, I've laminated them, so if you need some ideas of what to do, there are some there.
You know? So that's the end of that was fun.
So yes, so I've sent the resources through to Anne-Marie and that. I've just created some very basic stuff, and I know there's a book list there. If you just wanted to go through what book you've got, rather than also a little bit about these books. So that's that one. There for you to read it.
I've got them in here anyway. So I am a fairly large reader. I am a person that struggled with reading in school. I could read a page or something and get tested on it and go, I don't even know who they're talking about. I have no clue who the character they're trying to tell me what did blah blah blah. I have no idea. That was frustrating. But I have got better. I do read fairly well. I won't say every single day, but it would be 99 out of 100 days. I read for half an hour or so in the morning, right? I am a person who underlines everything in my books because I never used to. Because I recognize it's a tool. It's a tool to grow and develop, and it gives me somewhere to go back to. I don't have to try and read a whole section again. And then if I really like a section, I'll dive into page. I know I use it as a tool, right? Some books I've read multiple times. Some books I'll read once. Some books are difficult, but I never used to be, all right? So I recognize that for me to improve, for me to get better, I had to start putting knowledge into my system. Doesn't mean they're all right. Some books you read and go, I really don't like the opinion of that. And that's okay, because that's just a difference from there. So
I didn't put that one on the list.
I know that. I'm not suggesting initially you should read this book. Anyone that doesn't read, I'll give you other books that are probably easier to read.
I think it's more based on quantum physics.
Yes.
Yeah.
This book is a really good book. It definitely got my to think slightly different. And I'll admit, when I've read lots of books, and like most books you read a book, get to the end of the book, do nothing in the book, do nothing in the exercises, read the next book and go, what's that in that book? Don't do the exercise, read the next book, and 5 books down the track go, there's pretty well every book's the same in some respects. And you go, I haven't done any of the exercise. I don't do any of this work.
Message is same.
The message is the same, probably written differently, but the message is always the same. So I would suggest that this book probably on one of the courses that we look at and do. And I read the title, read the beginning of it, and I went, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to read that. And then, so I did eventually pick it up. So it's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money, The Infinite Wealth and Abundance in the Here and Now. Okay. David Cameron, get down. No, definitely not. You need, if anyone that doesn't read, you need to read something else first. I'm being honest. You do need, if you don't read on the books list, you need to read something else first if you are not a reader. Okay. And without putting you off this book, the first chapter is called Money's an Illusion. Second chapter is quantum physics. It's the depth that it goes into. The third chapter is the truth about time. And then And then it actually gets easier about speaking, thinking, goals, acting, blah, 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 blah. And I went, this is so heavy. How could you get through this? But as I got into the book, and he actually tells you in the chapter on quantum physics, this will be really heavy. You will struggle to read it. But if you read this chapter and just absorb a little bit, when I get into the chapter on images, thinking, speaking, acting, this chapter will make sense.
That was based, your proud one was based on the book.
That's based on the book. And it did. As I got into the book, the rest of the physics chapter started to make sense. Even though I understood the physics chapter, I'm not going to get into the physics and stuff, I understood it in its basic format. It started to make sense. It was like, I can see why you did what you did. I can see why you're trying to get me. Because what I tried to do there as well was trying to get you to open your mind before I threw you into a goal setting workshop.
Read the books list just for the recording section.
Right. So on the books list that we put on is, which is a great book, The Magic of Thinking Big.
I didn't put the authors on.
Sure. The Obstacle is the Way. The Slight Edge. The Power of One More. Success Principles. Atomic Habits. And The Science of Getting Rich.
Got those in your bag. You put one.
Can you put that book up again so I can take it over, please?
Yep.
You can put it on the table.
Put it on the table.
Okay. We do have a lot of books.
So sorry, hang on. So The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. The Obstacle, the Way is by Ryan Holiday. Very stoicism. Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. That is a very good book for someone that just wants to read, because it understands the principle of just such micro differences. It means the difference between either you climb the ladder or you pull away. Such small differences can make such a difference in fact. Power of One More by Ed Mylett. Power of One More by Ed Mylett.
I like the one on time.
All right. Success Principles.
Big chunky book. But
Big
good.
chunky book
But good.
by Jack Canfield. Quite a good book if you wanted to work your way through it very slowly. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles is
1910.
Yeah.
That's
It's a really good book. And then I brought one more, depending on the person, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. All right. Depends on you as an individual, whether you would like to. And then obviously, and then The Happy Pocket Full of Money.
Awesome.
Power of positive thinking that intrigues me anyway, it's the sort of thing I'd like to read, but.
So Helen, you're going to keep this recording for
You can wrap it up
All
and finish.
So
recording.
that's our goal setting for now. I hope you got something out of it. We will send the recording out to people. So I really appreciate you, anyone watching this, and we're all a work in progress. We're all trying to develop and grow into whoever we wish to become. So I am going to stop recording for now, and thank you for watching.
And Mario.